Hello, fellow lights and light travelers. Today's reading is going to be about shifting your light. So this message is going to be covering a message from your higher self about where you are being guided to gently redirect your light for alignment and transformation. The cards I pulled today are from the Empath's Oracle. We got Generating Dynamic Confidence, Opening to Dreams and Visions, and then, of course, Mentalizing Emotional Impressions. I invite you to take a moment, take a deep breath, look at the cards, see what feels like it's calling to you, what feels right, which one you feel the most drawn to. If you are having trouble choosing, of course, gemstones we have today. I have a beautiful healing quartz, healer quartz, moss agate, moss agate, quite sure. For pile number 2. And for pile number 3, we have the beautiful Larimar. And then, of course, for people who want to use their astrology signs, and know that you're not bound to this. If you feel pulled to a certain pile and it doesn't match your astrology sign, you don't have to worry about that. Just go to where you feel called. But if you want to use your astrology sign, what I pulled for the first pile, okay, we got Gemini, we have Aquarius, we have Aries, and last but not least, we have Pisces. Pile number 2, let's see what we get. Got Libra, got Scorpio, we have Leo, and then we have Virgo. And for pile number 3, we have Taurus, boop. We have Cancer, we have Sagittarius, and of course, we have Capricorn. So take a moment, see what feels right. When you are ready, there will either be timestamps listed in the video description, depending on if you're watching this on TikTok or YouTube, or I will do my best to pin below. You are always invited, if you're on TikTok, to go back to my main page, to click through to the story to make sure that you're getting the correct piles. I look forward to the reading. Hi, Pile 1. Welcome to your Shift Your Light Message from Your Higher Self reading. So with card 1, I'm going to go over where your energy is currently focused. And for you, I pulled the Hermit. This card is about isolation, and it's also about the inner self. So what this feels like to me is that you are pulled inward at this moment. And it feels like you're doing this as a form of protection, kind of like a turtle going into its shell, right? I'm drawn to the path below the Hermit. In the corner, it kind of looks like I'm seeing in the dots what looks like a mask. So this feels to me like you're putting on a mask to the world right now as a form of protection. This card speaks and feels as if you are a very deeply introspective individual. But for me, this looking internal, this going internal right now is a means of protecting yourself. It feels that in spite of all this, in spite of the fact that you feel you need to protect yourself, and that you're internalizing right now, that you're still shining, right? So that's what I'm seeing with the aura of light around the Hermit in this card. Know that your light is still there. You're still a bright light. And although you're protecting yourself, this is showing that you're gonna find a safe passageway. You are going to be led to safe passage. I strongly feel like you are surrounded by guides and guardian angels as you have called them towards you. This feels like they're trying to help you find that path and illuminate that pathway for you to help guide you forward. So for the next card, This is about what your higher self wants you to shift your focus on instead. So before you were looking internal, so now we want to shift that light. And what we pulled for you was the Seven of Swords. So this is about deception. So this could be that either you're deceiving yourself by not facing a truth in your life, or that someone / something, right, is being deceitful to you. Now, when I look at this card, I'm drawn to the blindfold. So this to me feels like this is a truth that you're choosing willfully not to see. It could be that someone's pulling the blinds over your eyes, but to me, this feels like you've put this on and you could easily take this off, right? So there's something, maybe it's too painful that you're not willing to look at and you're willfully choosing not to see. This card is telling you, it feels like your higher self is asking you or inviting you to sense, to see what's truly going on. So I'm drawn to both the butterfly wings that look like eyes, as well as the lines that are coming out from the card from the person's head. And it kind of looks like antenna. So I'm getting that right. Those butterflies and bugs use their antennas to sense, right? To feel the world. So even if you don't want to look with your eyes, you're being asked to sense. Or even if maybe something's happening that you can't see, you're being asked to use your senses to see the truth, to find the truth. This is telling me that you're more intuitive than you realize, right? Because you've got those antennas going. This is saying to trust your clairsentience. That's that clear feeling. That's that gut feeling that people get, right? And I keep hearing, listen, see, listen, see. Okay, so this is repeating over in my mind. Also, the word sense keeps coming through as well. So you are being asked to confront a truth. This doesn't have to be aggressively. It just means to shift the light onto that truth, onto what you're not wanting to see, or maybe that you're unable to see at this moment. But when you shift that light, know and trust your senses that this is where you need to shine your light to kind of help clear that pathway, to help move you in the right direction. So your next card is going over what will shift when you realign, when you focus on that light, when you do the work that needs to be done. And what I pulled for you is the Ten of Swords. So this shows a figure who feels like they've hit rock bottom. And as the saying goes, and I don't know if you've heard it, but once you've hit rock bottom, the only place left to go is up. The only place left to go is up. So if you heed the advice of the previous card and help focus on what needs to be focused on and shift through that lovingly, go through whatever passageway you need to go through there, this is going to allow you to change direction and start on that upward trajectory that you're longing for, okay? What I'm drawn to is the man laying on the ground. If he was just to open his eyes, right, he would see that he's floating amongst the stars. That's something that I used to do a lot as a child. I would just sit and stare outside at the night sky. And after a certain amount of time, I was just like, whoa, we are floating in space. Like the realization that we are on a rock called Mother Earth floating in space is crazy, right? But if you just change that perspective, if you allow yourself to look, if he just opens his eyes, he would see that, you know, there's more. Look at that. There's light. There's light. It's dark. There's light. There's the moon. There's the stars, okay? There's light in this darkness. Change your perspective. And if you laid there long enough on the ground, there's going to be sunrise. The sun will rise. Trust that there's light and that there's hope and that there's more for you to experience on this journey that you are on. Stand tall and journey forth. There are lights to guide your path. I'm hearing trust, believe, know, okay? Know that you are guided by the light, and know that you yourself are also the light. So you're being asked to journey forward and to believe. So for your oracle card that was pulled, that you guys were drawn to, you pulled the Generating Dynamic Confidence. So for this card in this book, it says that the essential themes are valuing our unique ability to contribute in this lifetime, engaging in enjoyment and creativity to combat the lesser emotions, And then exercising empathy towards ourselves in the same way that we do for others. So, the card in the book says that the imagery and the energy on the card is dynamic. Its bursting forth energy is apparent in the painting. By necessity, the state of energetic expansion and self-confidence requires that we make peace with life's hardships. The person in the picture knows no fear or dread of things that will happen. She has full confidence in her own inner strength and accepts every challenge because with every new experience, she will shine brighter than before. So this has a deeper meaning section. For the deeper meanings, this book says, as deeply sensitive people, sometimes even the smallest negative occurrence can throw us off center for a long period of time. Sometimes it's a challenge to get out of bed and calibrate for the day to come. Sometimes we get down on ourselves and personalize even the smallest mistakes and missteps. This card is a reminder that internalizing negative thoughts, right? There's that going in. It's coming through with your oracle card. Internalizing thoughts and emotions isn't usually a productive activity. We are ultimately responsible for how we live our lives and how we see the world. And give yourself nurture. We all do this, right? When empaths feel grounded and centered in our core, we truly have a magnetic presence. There's that aura of you shining. Confidence is social survival. It says there is no point in beating ourselves up. Although we may be our own worst critics, we don't have to walk around in a cloud of stress and regret. We need to learn to neatly compartmentalize emotions and not allow the darker ones to overtake the most precious gift we have, our lives. True confidence can take a long time to cultivate, and it is not always a constant state of being. Confidence can come in waves. Even the most confident empath experiences times of difficulty. It's just a matter of how much we choose to attach to these experiences. We can hold on to the hard stuff for years upon years, but this does little in the way of living a satisfactory life. Self-esteem and self-confidence begin with exercising empathy and compassion for yourself. This can be hard when you feel inadequate, but you must keep perspective. There's that shifting perspective, that card that came through for you. Looking up at the stars, changing your perspective, seeing that there's light, right? It says you're only human and you deserve love just as much as anyone else. And the most significant, impactful love that you receive is from yourself. Suggestions for action. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it does say that movement, exercise, dance, or any kind of physical work can greatly aid in releasing endorphins and boosting esteem, accomplishing goals. Even simply working on productive things can aid in the process of gaining confidence. And then it says, do things that you enjoy. Do something fun. Treat yourself, okay? Treat yourself to a delicious dinner, because why not? Play, dress up, make some art, anything. Confidence can be generated when we feel good about ourselves and choose not to take life with grave seriousness all the time, okay? So, in summary, my dear light traveler, I'm inviting you to take a deep breath and let these words settle into your soul. Right now, you may feel the need to retreat, to protect your light, and to walk that quiet path inward. But know this, your light is not fading, it's recalibrating. Even behind the mask you show the world, your soul is still shining. Your guides are near. They've heard your call, and they're walking with you as you search for your truth. Now your higher self whispers, it's time to see beyond the surface. Not with your eyes, but with your inner knowing. There may be something that you've been unwilling to face, but deep down you already feel it. Trust your intuition, sense the truth, and let your awareness rise like wings. And when you do, everything will shift. You may feel like you've hit rock bottom, but even here you are held by the stars. Open your eyes, and you'll see that you were never alone. You are not stuck. You are rising. The dawn is coming. Your light is returning. Your light has never faded away. And you are becoming who you were always meant to be. So take that first step with trust, with courage, with knowing. Have confidence. Find joy. Breathe deeply as you step forward and be at peace, because you are the light and the world is waiting for you to shine. Thank you again, pile number 1. If this message illuminated something within you, please do leave a comment. If there's future topics that you would like me to go over, please share them below. I love hearing ideas of what you would like to hear. Please let me know how this resonates. I love contacting and knowing how these messages are coming through from your guides to you. Please remember also, if I can ask so humbly, to give this video a like and to reshare it with others. This helps me be able to give more readings. It just supports my work in getting through these messages of light to other lights in this world. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you at the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. Welcome to the Shift Your Light message from your higher self. So with this first card, we're going to be going over where your energy is currently focused. What I pulled for you is the Page of Cups. So this card is about emotional intelligence and love. And it could also be about your inner child or possibly a child in your life. When I'm looking at this card, I'm drawn to the fact that both the figure on the card and the fish seem to be peering into the cup on the card. So what this feels like to me is that you're focused inward on nurturing yourself, loving yourself, and caring for your inner child. This feels like you're in a flow state where you're embracing healing and self-love. I'm drawn to like the fish above the figure's head. This could be that you're using your crown chakra for spiritual connection and enlightenment. And if you aren't aware of it, it's definitely coming in, right? You have a connection. I feel the need to say that you could be working with healing modalities around water. So working with oceans, lakes, water, spa. If you're in a spiritual practice, so if you're someone that is actively doing that, this could also be you reading tea leaves. Or if you're not, this could be that you're drawn to it, or maybe that would be a good source to get some information is getting your tea reads, like your tea leaves read. I am feeling strong people in the intuitive spaces, right, with these cards. But, you know, even if you're not in that practice, there's definitely something about you that's connected, and you're more intuitive and in tune with your psychic abilities, your telepathy, any of that, than you realize. What I'm feeling overall, though, is that your focus is definitely internal and healing and nurturing yourself. So these are all pathways to look into. For the second card, we're going to look at where does your higher self want you to shift, okay? So you've been doing that inner work. Let's shift that light. And what I got for you is the Ace of Wands. This card is about inspiration and creativity. And I hear the word creativity, like creativity. I'm drawn to the man, and it looks like he's striking a match and it's bursting forth, okay? I'm getting so much light from this card. This is a powerful creativity bursting forth from your actions, okay? You may be feeling inspired to start some new creative venture in your life, and your higher self is definitely wanting you to focus here on creation, on the new, on your passions, okay? This feels like you're being invited and asked to play and to create and to bring something forth into your life and into this world. So if there have been goals that you've been wanting to fulfill or projects and ideas that you've been thinking about, now feels like a divinely guided time to guide in, okay? This energy feels bright, it feels alive, and it feels dynamic. You're being called to focus, to step inward, and to create and go after what it is that you want, okay? Passion is what came into my mind, and I heard green light, go, 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 okay? So this is a sign to go for it and to create and to design what you want. For your third one, okay, this is saying what's going to shift if you realign. You've done that inner work. You're being asked to go forward. What's going to happen if you shift your light? That's the Ace of Swords. So this is about clarity and new ideas. So this feels like the divine is handing you clarity and mental focus, right? You're getting the hilt of this sword. It's handing over. It's like, take this. This is coming. This is for you. So you may suddenly receive the knowledge that you were looking for to help you to take action. This feels like when it's tied to the previous card, you're going to have a breakthrough in these creative spaces, or in need of these creative spaces, or once you're creative, that's going to lead to new beginnings for you. So when looking at the card, I heard the universe is yours to create. This knowledge is yours for the taking. And if you felt confused on what to do, this is definitely going to be a time of mental and intellectual clarity and action for you. Okay, so let's get the book to read what it says for your oracle card, which you chose Opening to Dreams and Visions. The essential themes, it says, is understanding the significance of dreams and intuition, differentiating between visionary symbolism and literalism, and researching the workings of the brain and theories of consciousness, which is very cool. The imagery says, the world of dreams and visions have entered the figure in this picture. This is beautiful because we're talking about, igniting those passions. The boundary between dreams and reality has been abolished, and the world of magic has been found, and access to the individual depicted. Fixed mental structures have given way to fluidity of thought that enables them to access the magic of imagination at any time. So, there's that Ace of Wands coming through. Let's see. They talk about visions and coming through. It says it's important to pay attention to visions and dreams as we receive, but be discerning. So we all have a lens, it says, that paints how we see things. So, tune into those dreams, tune into that creative flow, and then take a pause and look at it and say, is this something pure that's coming forth? Am I skewing it with like my view of, or how I might have been hurt or whatnot? We want to step back. We want this to be pure. We want this to be joyful. Let's connect and look and allow those visions to come through as beautifully and creatively as possible. This has a suggestion for action. It says this encourages you to more deeply explore the world of dreaming and psychic vision. There is much to be learned. So again, I'm, like I said, I'm feeling that there's people in this pile that either are already in that world of working in spirituality, or, maybe that's something you might want to look into, or something that you're interested in, but it's coming out very strongly in this card. It says for some, deep meditation, that's what I do, dance, or ritual are preferred methods to receive vision and insight. For others, divination and core shamanic-based practices can help provide these insights for ourselves and others. If you don't know where to start, just me personally, I love the Monroe Institute. They have a wonderful app with guided meditations, but go with what feels comfortable for you, right? This is your journey, your path. Whatever leads you, whatever brings you joy, whatever helps you connect, follow that light. And then it says when you're having dreams, dream journals are good, tried and true method to see what's coming through. And then of course, go over it and analyze it. All right, so let's pull this all together. My dear light traveler, right now your energy is soft and nurturing as you pour love into yourself, holding space for your healing and listening to the quiet whispers of your soul. You've been tending to your heart, reconnecting, and you have been in a time of emotional renewal. And your soul sees this, and it honors the depth of your care. With the care and work that you've done, this has led to a new chapter opening. Your higher self now gently calls you forward. There's a spark inside of you, a creative fire that's ready to rise. The time has come to take that vision, that idea, that dream, and ignite it. This is your green light to go, to create, to express. Let your passions become motion. Let your light become form. And when you do, a shift will unfold. Mental clarity will wash over you. Sudden knowing, a breakthrough. The path ahead will no longer be foggy. It will feel lit from within, because you're not just dreaming anymore, you're building it. The universe is handing you the sword of truth and the wand of creation. Now is your time. So dream it, speak it, create it, live it, and know that you are the light that brings the dream to life. Thank you, pile number 2. If this message illuminated something within you, please do leave a comment. If there's any future topics you'd like me to go over, please leave it below. Please let me know how each message resonates. I love hearing that. And again, I invite you to take what resonates and leave the rest. Remember to please give this video a like and a share, as this helps me to be able to give more readings. And I appreciate you giving your time to be here. And I look forward to seeing you at the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to the Shift Your Light message from your higher self. The first card is where your energy is currently focused. And for you, I pulled the 7 of Wands. So this card is about defensiveness and assertiveness. When I'm looking at the card, I see that you're currently focused, and what I feel is that you're currently focused on a position or holding a position to defend things and something particular in your life that's going on, right? I'm drawn to the man at the top of the pile, or that top of that mountain in the card, right? This feels like you have positioned yourself on the high ground, okay? You're defending yourself, but you're not doing this aggressively. You're doing this with dignity. And of course, you're being assertive. There's nothing wrong with that. You're holding your position. I'm drawn to kind of what looks like a semicircle of black dots on the side of the figure, kind of like around their head. I feel like this is half of the story being told, or half of it being heard, or that's how it feels, right? And I'm also feeling that this wasn't a straight path or a straight set of events that led you to be in this position now where you're feeling like you need to defend yourself. I also hear that it's lonely, like the word lonely is coming to me, and it's lonely at the top, having to hold your position, right? For me, I'm also seeing what looks like a baby's face. So I don't know if this is coming across that like the arguments that have happened, or, you know, the dynamic has felt like childish. Like this is such a childish thing that's led to this point, or they're being so childish, or this could be about a child's well-being, or about a child in your life. Just I'm getting a child here. So, you know, take what resonates, please leave the rest. The second card, right, is where does your higher self want you to focus instead? So where are you being asked to shift your light? And for you, I got the 5 of Cups. So this card is often about loss and sadness. Often the card is depicted showing like 3 cups spilled in front of the person, and then they have their back turned, and there's 2 cups that are standing, right? And the character, if they just changed their perspective and looked behind them, they would see that there's still, they still have something, right? There's still hope. There's still goodness, that not everything has been lost. This card is slightly different. So what I'm feeling from this card, again, yeah, you're being invited to see that not all is lost, but I'm drawn to the moon, or what looks like an eclipse in the card. And it kind of feels like for you, there's light cracking forth, and you're beginning to see, like you're already seeing this. You're already noticing that not all is lost. And also in this card, the character has all the cups in front of them. So I feel like you're aware of the fact there's more. And there's something awakening in you. You are remembering, and you're being gifted the wonder of sight, right? You can see that there's more. You can see the light coming through. And you're starting to see that there are paths laid before you. There are options, and that there is hope. I'm also, the water at the character's feet feels almost blended into the character. So this feels like you're creating a new version of yourself, and it's one that knows how to connect with your intuition to be able to, you know, quote unquote, see again. Trust yourself to feel and use your intuition to guide your path forward, all right? So this third card is what's going to shift when you realign, and you've got the Knight of Cups. So this has to do with quick actions and emotions. And this feels like in shifting your view and seeing things differently, as what was mentioned in the Five of Cups, this is going to lead to things unfolding quickly. So maybe taking that new perspective is in what is happening, right? So if you're shifting your view in that situation from the Seven of Wands, this is going to lead to like there's going to be quick emotions and things unfolding. I am drawn to what looks like a mark on the horse's back leg. So for me, it kind of looks like a hook. Like, I don't know, like in those old timey movies or cartoons, they would like hook the person and drag them off stage or something, or like try to stop somebody from moving. So this to me reveals that like there needs to be caution. You need to slow down and kind of step away and see yourself in the situation more clearly. Kind of like pull back from that emotion. Don't get caught up in the emotion. Just take a pause and like look at it. If you feel yourself becoming emotional, just kind of like stop and try to clear your mind. It's hard, but you know, we've got this. You've got this. Just be careful not to get too caught up. And then I'm drawn to the light blue in the picture that's kind of behind the main character. And to me, this reminds me of like the throat chakra. So I feel like there's going to be emotional communication coming through from like the other party, the other person, the other part of what's happening in your story. So, you know, trust yourself and your intuition to guide you through navigating the situation. Know that people can say words, look at their actions as well, kind of take a pause. Don't get wrapped up in the emotion, kind of look at it a little bit more logically. Trust your intuition, just move forward carefully through this, okay? And when you do, I do see and feel that you're going to be moving forward and moving past whatever's going on in that initial Seven of Wands situation. Okay, so let me pull up the Oracle card that you chose, Mentalizing Emotional Impressions. Let's see. One quick moment. All right, so this says, in the book for the Oracle card, it says, essential themes, separating the cognitive or thinking self from the emotional self. There you go. Questioning attachments to common ways of thinking or feeling, and learning how to step back from overwhelming emotional experiences. So there you go. There's your Knight of Cups. I love how these things match. Oracle cards in tarot, it's just, I love it. Okay, imagery. This picture illustrates how external impressions assemble themselves into mental structures within us. We may often feel a loss of control over our emotional states, but it is something that we can influence through our thought processes. This imagery encourages self-examination to avoid attachment to emotional frequencies that can often serve to self-sabotage. Okay, so it says deeper meanings. The cognitive mind and the emotional body work hand in hand at varying degrees for everyone. Blah, 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 blah. Individuals who are more cerebral, oh my God, I can't speak, who are more mental by nature simply have a different set of gifts, okay? We all have something important to offer the world, and we can all learn from each other. Such is the beauty of diversity. So it says, pulling this card is an urgent message to not become overly attached to emotions, but pay more attention to the thoughts instead. Make it mental. This is a message to step out of your emotional body for a bit and take some time to see a greater perspective. It's saying to think things through. Thinking and feeling should work harmoniously so that equilibrium can be maintained. And then suggestions for actions. It says, it takes only a moment to think about the emotion we're beginning to experience. When caught in the moment, it's easier to see whether or not it belongs to us personally, or if it's a snowball of external influences. So like pausing, right? It says a piece of insight worth considering is that by mentally reviewing the day at the evening time, we can trace our day's emotional experiences and pinpoint the origins of any given sensation. Okay, so it says when we're winding our day in a meditative state, it's important to remember that we ourselves are deeply emotional beings and that not every emotion we experience is external. However, external emotions can latch onto our own personal emotions, right? Other people start feeling things. Sometimes we absorb that or we react to it, right? Emotional mindfulness is a process of discerning and differentiating our sensations so that we can grow in awareness. So that's beautiful. All right. So let's summarize your reading, pile 3. All right, my fellow light traveler. Right now, you are standing tall. You are holding your ground and you are defending your truth. It hasn't been easy, but you've done it with dignity, not aggression, with courage, not chaos. And yet, there's a quiet ache beneath the strength, a sense of loneliness, as if no one else quite sees the full story. Your higher self is here to remind you that not all is lost. Yes, things have spilled. Yes, emotions have been heavy. But look again. Behind the sorrow, there's still beauty standing. There's still hope shining. There's still paths waiting to be walked. Your light is beginning to shift. And as it does, a new wave begins to move through you. Listen to the whispers. Something is on its way. A message, an opening, a moment of emotional truth. But go gently. Let your heart guide your pace. You don't need to rush your healing. You just need to trust that it's unfolding. So breathe, soften your gaze, feel what's still within you. Your heart is your compass. Let it guide you with grace, with intuition, and with light. All right. Thank you, pile number 3. If this message illuminated something within you, please leave a comment. I love to hear how things resonate. If you have any ideas for future topics that you'd like to share, please share below. I will definitely take it into consideration. I humbly ask if you could please remember to give this video a like and share it with others. This helps me be able to get more readings and to reach other lights that may need these messages as well. Thank you for being here, for giving me your time and energy, and I will see you at the next reading. Bye.